Hello and bienvenidos to our workshop, How to Craft a Montuno Percussion Section. At our clinics, the software sequencer Ableton Live helps us to demonstrate and arrange all used instruments live, in real time and in front of the audience. Also, there is a handout that includes all used patterns and techniques, so the workshop participant has the opportunity to reread everything we talk about. Of course, this DVD might be useful too. We show traditional patterns and techniques as well as their contemporary use, and then bring them to the drum set, where I show how to adapt these sounds and rhythms. The rhythmical and compositorical basis for all composed Montuno music is clave. It's a 2-bar phrase with 3 strokes in one and 2 in the following bar. Compositorical means that every instrument from drums to horns, vocals or any other relate to clave. In our example, we used the bar with the 2 strokes, the 2 side, first, and then the one with the 3 strokes follows, the 3 side. Therefore it's called 2-3 son clave, played on the instrument called claves. As a drummer, you can imitate this instrument by playing a rim click or a wood block. Some drummers use an extra foot pedal for that too. Accompanying this pattern right now is the tumbao bass line. It's the most common bass figure in Afro-Cuban music. As a drummer, you can play its rhythm on the bass drum. Our next instrument is the güiro. Here you see the traditional playing technique. The güiro plays a 1-bar phrase and stays the same throughout the whole song, if the composer doesn't tell you different. On the drum set, I would play this rhythm on the hi-hat or on the rim of a tom-tom. Maracas also play a 1-bar pattern. The sound of the maracas is similar to the hi-hat sound, so that's where I would play it as a drummer. Nené describes güiro and maracas as brother and sister or good friends. Both have to work together and be played tightly. This way we create a good foundation for a percussion section. Congas or tumbadoras are the backbone for our Montuno rhythm. They are like the engine for our percussion machinery. Congas usually start with a 1-bar groove and are to change to a 2-bar pattern throughout the song. Then the 3 side of the clave will be featured, and the congero not only plays his main drum conga, but also the deeper one, tumba. By the way, most variations in a conga pattern take place on the 3 side of clave, so you are able to figure out where the clave is without hearing the sound of clave itself. As drummers, we are able to create the conga sounds by playing rim click as our slaps and tom-toms for open tones, for example. The bongocero changes between the bongo drums and the campana, a handheld cowbell. On his drums, he plays the martillo pattern and has the most improvisational freedom in the section. He interacts with the other instruments. The campana pattern outlines the pulse of the song by accenting the half note. Lots of so-called Latin drum set grooves use this figure, for example on the ride cymbal, hi-hat or on mounted cowbells. Like jam blocks, cowbells are often mounted to a foot pedal. Here I have both bell and block in use with a Sonor Tune Effect pedal. Next are the timbales. The roots of the timbales are found in European classical music. They are an instrument of the timpani family. The name timbales is related to the name timpani, and the way timbales are set up, with the high tone right and the low on the left side, like on a piano or in a classical timpani setup, as well as the way timbales were built traditionally, underline that theory. The timbales have two main patterns to play. First, the cascara, played on the side, the cascara of the drum, and the mambo bell pattern, played on the beak of the mounted cowbells on the timbale setup. Both patterns outline the clave side you're on. Like the campana, they have three strong quarter notes on the two sides. You can imitate their sound, for example, by turning the snares of your snare drum for the timbales drum sound. Play the hi-hat or side of your toms for the cascara pattern, or play a cymbal for your bell part. If we would divide our Son Montuno song into verse and chorus, then in the verse, the conguero would play his one-bar pattern, the bongocero would play his drums, and the timbalero would stay on the cascara. In the chorus, the conguero would change to the two-bar pattern, the bongocero to the campana and the timbalero to the mambo bell. Splitting into verse and chorus like we have it in pop and rock music is not really compatible with Son Montuno, but it gives you an idea of the role and intention of these patterns. So now let's listen to a song that uses these patterns. Here is Mi Historia del Son by Nené's Proyecto Catastrófico.
Este es el proyecto catastrófico. Vaya. De muchacho caminaba por las calles de Santiago. Los viejos que pregonaban con tanta facilidad, lo notaba muy normal, como era tan natural. Y al paso de varios años empecé a profundizar. La calle sé que es mi escuela, el son mi universidad.
Vacílalo, el son montuno.
Pícalo, gallo.
Vacílalo, el son me llama.
Recuerdo nombres grandiosos de mi universidad del son: Matamoros, Río Leiva, Chapotín, que bien tocó. Tanto nombre en mi cabeza, grande es la historia del son, que se mantenga su gloria, le tengo su pedestal. Latino, que se respete, lo tiene que valorar. Corazón
Ya